So, Dr. Mousseau, can you tell me what you are doing here at in the Chernobyl nuclear power plant during a time like this, and why are you here?
Well, we have been studying the wild dogs that live in this area since 2017, and it turns out they're an excellent model for study because they're so much like humans. They live in the same areas, they eat pretty much the same food, they have the same basic biology, and so anything we can learn about how the dogs react to this contaminated environment will be useful to humans also living in the area. So we're basically taking samples of DNA as part of the surgical procedure here. So we're not doing anything special. We're also testing for parasites like heartworm and Ehrlichia and other disease-causing bacteria. We hope to do complete whole genome sequencing of their DNA to test for the effects of radiation on mutation rates at some point. I think the first story that we're interested in pursuing is just to what extent the animals that are here now are actually the descendants of the pets that were left behind at the time of the accident. You know, spoiler alert, I think I think the current data suggests maybe, there's quite a bit of ancestry there, and which is very interesting in itself. Also, we've learned that the animals that live here around the power plant are really kind of separate from the dogs that live in Chernobyl town and the dogs that live in Slavutich and the dogs that live in Ivankiv and other areas. They really are kind of an independent population, and so they are evolving and adapting independently of these other areas. It makes it a very interesting location for doing basic biology. And of course, the other question that comes up on a regular basis is, to what extent is there mixing and hybridization with the wolves that live in the area? Most people have heard that the story that the wolves have moved back to Chernobyl, and indeed there's some evidence that they have returned from Belarus and perhaps from Russia, and in fact our cameras, we have cameras, motion activated cameras set up around the exclusion zone, and there certainly are wolves in the area, and so it's kind of interesting to determine, using the genetics, using the DNA, whether or not there's any kind of hybridization or mixing of between wolves and dogs.
Okay, great. That was very informative. And so you've been coming with CFF since 2017. Is that correct?
I was with the first team in 2017.
Great.
Yeah, it was quite the adventure that first time.
And you're doing this with the University of Chernobyl Research, University of South Carolina, Chernobyl Research Initiative,
so we so the Chernobyl Research Initiative is a group, a consortium that we started up here over 20 years ago to study all of the organisms in the exclusion zone, and we've been partnering with CFF since 2017 to look at the research side, the scientific side of the dog population.
Great. All right, it's great to have you. Thank you.
Thanks.